It's a natural. Yeah. What are some of your emotions going into this last game?
It's bittersweet for sure. I'm really just trying to kind of enjoy this last, time with my team. It's definitely been the best year of football that I've had so far. Not, physically necessarily, but just as an experience. With the guys, a lot of the relationships I've made this year. So just soaking it all in because, it's going to, it has gone by really quick, 6 years. Can't really, it's just crazy to think about. But yeah, just really soaking it in and enjoying, all the relationships that I think I've made and making sure all the guys know how much I really love them. That's really it.
What's just made this year different than the other previous 5 years of college football?
One, I think, maturity and just all the experience that I've had now kind of all accumulates, and now you kind of look at it from a different view. I'm more appreciative, of everything, but from a logistical standpoint, I'd say just it starts with Coach Lanning and the staff. The guys on the team, the way we were able to connect, I think this off season was the biggest thing. We had a lot of fun this year. And it didn't end all the way we wanted to necessarily, but you go back and this will be a season I think a lot of the guys remember, in 20, 30 years, whatever it is, just because of the way that how close we were and how we were able to kind of battle through adversity.
Does that Oregon State loss still linger? Is it something that you use as motivation going into bowl prep?
Yeah, a little bit. That was it stings a lot. I think that's something that, we can use into bowl prep, but for the guys especially, I think like next year, that's a big thing. To bring into look, this is how the season was going, and then, towards the end, we started to fall off. Let's make sure we keep that momentum, and once we don't get comfortable right after we get a little, get rolling. So that's something I think we could use for next year. We're definitely using it a little bit, for this game. We've done a great job of bouncing back off adversity every time this year after a loss, coming back and playing really well. So, we have to keep that same mindset. It's just, working real hard in practice, so we don't let ourselves get into that comfortable kind of state like last time.
When you announced last year that you were coming back, you obviously had some things that could benefit you personally too, but you also said the program. You wanted to help usher in the program into a better place. Looking at just the totality of the season, do you feel like that was accomplished this season?
Yeah, I really do, and I feel good about my role here. Obviously, still the one thing is, I wish we could have finished the regular season a little better. But when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, this program is going to be fine in the next few years, more than fine. Coach Lanning's doing a great job with it. I just think it's for me personally, I think it was a big year for me to show myself that I could be a leader, but also I remember saying early in this season, or maybe it was before the season, but I had a sense of purpose this year. It brought me joy to see other guys get better and help other guys get better, where in the past it might have been a little more selfish to see what I can get done. But this year I felt that sense of purpose, and throughout the season I did, and to see it kind of come to fruition, see guys get better, and maybe guys that weren't super invested getting stuff cleaned up off the field, and becoming a better person, right? Because that's going to always make a better player. Those are the things this year that I am most proud of, and being able to help guys get to that level or that moment, I guess.
In this day and age of football, it's totally understandable if you came out and said, hey, I need to protect myself health-wise for the draft, and I'm not playing. You're playing. Why? What made you say I'm still out here playing with these guys?
Yeah, it's not really in my nature to sit out. Maybe if I was Christian Gonzalez going in the first round, then maybe I'd think about it when there's that much money on the table. But for me, it was a no-brainer. To sit out for the possibility of getting hurt, for me, it's this is my last game, my last time ever getting to play college football. Of course I'm going to do this, and I'm going to experience this with as much gratitude as I can because I don't get to do it again. So yeah, it was no brainer for me. I think about like Bo Nix too. Same, just like, of course I'm playing. So that was really it.
How kind of bizarre have these last few weeks been when you're trying to get over the Oregon State loss, you're trying to get ready for a bowl game, you're trying to figure out your own future, you have guys hitting the portal, you have the offensive coordinator leaving. Just how do you kind of handle all that and compartmentalize everything?
It's different. College football has definitely changed now, right? Where every year it's going to be an overhaul, no matter what program you're at. Like, you'll be lucky if you get all the coaches to stay. There's always going to be players that enter the portal, especially at a high level program like this, where you get a lot of really good guys that come in, right? A lot of guys are going to want to play naturally and might not play here, their first, second year, whatever it is, and want to find that opportunity elsewhere, and that's totally fine. I'm not going to, be bitter towards them or have any, malicious wishes, I guess. But for us as a team, that's where like your core guys, whoever's staying, whoever really is the leaders on the team, has to, step up. And I think about last year. Like last year was a complete overhaul too, right? And we had to do that, and it was necessary. Like, we don't know what we're about to walk into. We don't know what is ahead of us. But if we can stay focused and just get back to us working and sticking together, it'll turn out to be really well. So that's year after year that has to happen, right? So for right now in this postseason, it's definitely a weird kind of feeling, having some guys not with us that we had before. Obviously, offensive coordinator leaving, but for us, it doesn't. I don't think it feels like we're losing. Like, for us, it feels like this is these are the guys we're rocking with, because these are the guys that wanted to be here and want to stay. And so in that aspect, I don't think it's too different. We're still going to come out there and compete like hell. So,
What are your thoughts on Drake May?
Man, he's a really good player. One of the best quarterbacks in the country for sure. Got an arm, natural quarterback talent, you can tell. Gets that ball out really quick. One of the fastest kind of releases I've seen in decision making. Yeah, he's a stud, and he's a freshman, redshirt freshman. So we'll see him on Sundays for sure. Got to handle him the 28th first before all that happens. But it's gonna be a challenge for sure. We're gonna have to be on our best behavior to be able to stop him when it comes game time.
What does life look like for you after the bowl game? Do you know where you're going to be based for kind of draft prep yet?
Yeah, there's a lot up in the air right now. I got a few options. Training down in San Diego, so I might end up staying down there after the bowl game. There's Florida, Arizona, maybe staying in the Bay Area. So there's a few options there, but regardless, I'm going to be training right after. Maybe take a week off and then get right back to it. I think the combine or pro day would be big for me, just the testing and stuff. I feel like I already got a good jump on it, got a start on all that combine training like this off season. But it's time to really buckle down. It doesn't really matter where I train, as long as you have the discipline and the knowing what to do and what to eat and all that stuff, how to train. Doesn't really matter where you do it. It could be the best facilities or just a garage. But as long as I can get a lot of that stuff done, I feel like I'm going to be really prepared for the combine.
Do you have an All-Star game invite?
Yeah, I got a couple. Not sure if I'm going to play in yet. Still kind of a decision I wanted to make after it's all said and done here. So want to really focus on us and get into this game and finishing this bowl game off, right?
Would playing with your brother be appealing if it's an option?
Yeah.
I don't know if it is.
Yeah, it would. Playing with him, in an All-Star game would be fun, but I'd rather play with him on an NFL team, But yeah, that would be. That's a dream come true. So I'd love to be on the same field. We've done that now, the same team and the same colors. That'd be the ideal situation.
Is that the Shrine game and the NFLPA ones?
The Shrine and then the or I guess they call it the Tropical Bowl now. Or they changed, or maybe those are
two
different ones.
Yes.
All right, well
Maybe
then
not.
there you go. The Tropical Bowl, that's the one. Yeah, so those ones.